Be sure to subscribe to Greedy J or he'll foreclose your house and become your stepdad.
So recently, Akira Toriyama was interviewed and the question came up of who is currently the strongest Z fighter in Dragon Ball? And the answer he gave was Gohan. Even with Master Ultra Instinct Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta, Gohan is still considered by Akira Toriyama to be the strongest Z fighter. And I bet some of you are like, well, that's dumb. Dragon Ball's superpower levels are so messed up that Krillin was able to keep up with the Super Saiyan Blue Goku. And you're right. But you're not the creator of Dragon Ball now, are you? Arguably, I would say Goku should be stronger, but in today's video, we will look at Gohan's feats and achievements and each saga that shows the audience why Gohan is the strongest, starting from the Saiyan saga. So to start off, during the Saiyan saga, we are introduced to Goku's son, Gohan, who at this time had a base power level of 1, so we had no clue as to what Gohan was truly capable of. However, once Raditz showed up and told Goku that he was a Saiyan, by logic we understood that Gohan was a half Saiyan, which we need to keep in mind. Once Gohan is captured, Goku and Piccolo chase Raditz and fight him to save Gohan. During this fight, Goku and Piccolo's power levels without their weights were 416 and 408, and nowhere near Raditz's power level of 1500. So overall during this fight, Raditz should have inherently won. However, Gohan was the hidden factor during the altercation. He started getting angry when he popped out of the Saiyan pod. His base power level increased to a whopping 710. That is stronger than Piccolo and Goku at this time with no training. And then he became more enraged and went for a nasty headbutt that put Gohan's power level to 1307. That was stronger than Goku using at that time his full powered Kamehameha and only around 100 levels lower than Piccolo's fully charged special beam cannon. That headbutt alone changed the tide of the battle. So first point to give out is that Gohan's rage was a huge factor in him being stronger than Goku. During the training arc to prepare for the Saiyans in the anime, we get a scene of Vegeta explaining half Saiyans being stronger and stating, when our blood is mixed with an Earthling's, it results in a hybrid with mighty power. So after that sentence, we already know that Gohan is something more and something special. With the training arc over and the Saiyans landing, the Z Fighters' power levels are as follow. Piccolo, 3500, Krillin, 1770, Tien, 1830, Yamcha, 1480, Chaozu, 610, and finally Gohan, 981. Gohan as a child brought his base power level of 1 all the way to 981 as a child, which is crazy if you really think about it. However, the Saiyans blow them out of the water, with Nappa having 4000 as a power level and Vegeta sitting casually at 18,000. Now, obviously we know that the Cybermen come into play and decimate Yamcha and give the others a run for their money, with only power levels being at 1200 respectively. Obviously, Gohan doesn't showcase because of his fear, but we know if it came to it, he would have been fine. Now, the fight with Nappa really shows the audience that Gohan's emotions really controlled his actions during this fight. When Piccolo and Krillin go for a combo hit, Gohan was too scared to finish, and if he wasn't, most likely he could have done major damage to Nappa since he was in a state of non-movability. Moving forward in the fight, Nappa decimates Krillin, Tien, and Piccolo to the point where Gohan's emotions run so rampant that he gets enraged enough to charge a full-powered Masenko that brought his power level to 2800. It was impressive, but still not enough to challenge Nappa. And then obviously Goku comes, wipes the floor with Nappa, and begins his iconic duel against Vegeta, where Krillin and Gohan move into support roles and watch. During that duel, Vegeta transforms into a Great Ape and easily outclasses Goku until his tail is cut off by Yajirobe, which put him at a huge disadvantage because one of his eyes were injured and he took significant damage from Goku. Which leads to Gohan and Vegeta duking it out for a bit, and Gohan is keeping up with Vegeta. However, he is injured, so keep that in mind. Gohan then finally transforms into a great ape himself and crushes Vegeta, which inherently ends the fight and brings the Saiyan saga to a close. So things to keep in mind about Gohan during this: his emotions controlled his actions and how powerful he could be with them. He rapidly increased in strength in a short amount of time, and Gohan kept up with the likes of Vegeta even though he was injured. Moving forward with Gohan's growth, we enter the Namek saga. This saga really was the time for Kid Gohan to show the audience how strong he was. Gohan doesn't necessarily fight any big bads until the Ginyu Force arrives, but before he takes them on, he encounters Guru, who unlocks his full potential, putting him over 10,000. There is no exact amount, but it's basically equivalent to how powerful Vegeta was back on Earth. When the battle with the Ginyu Force occurs, Gohan takes on Recoome one-on-one after he destroys Vegeta and Krillin with ease. Gohan's power when fighting Recoome increased to 14,000. It's not really explained, but we can assume Gohan was desperate and a bit of his hidden potential was still coming out. Gohan, while fighting Recoome, used a more powerful Masenko that increased his power level to 20,000, which is not bad and does some cosmetic damage to Recoome. But nonetheless, Gohan still loses and almost dies from having his neck broken. Again, we all know what happens afterwards. Goku comes in for the save, but he gives a sensu bean to an almost dead Gohan. As we remember, he is half Saiyan, which means he is able to do what is called a Zenkai boost, which is defined as a genetic trait that allows a Saiyan's power to increase substantially after recovering from near fatal injuries. Gohan almost died, so once he ate that sensu bean, his power level increased without anyone noticing. The first time we see him showcase that power up was when he fought Captain Ginyu in Goku's body. Now, I don't know a lot about Ginyu's body change ability, but they do explain that he doesn't have Goku's power level, so Ginyu is sitting at his power level of 23,000, which is well lower than his original when he was in his original body, which was 120,000. But it didn't matter because Gohan's power level at that moment was 200,000, and with the help of Krillin in that fight, it was just a breeze. And then we head into the big fight with Frieza. Gohan showcased how strong he was with his 200,000 power level when fighting Frieza's second form, which was at a power level of over 1 million. Gohan did get toyed with, but he made sure to hold his own whenever everyone needed to recover. Now, when he uses his Masenko, obviously his power level increased heavily at that moment, but there is no estimated amount that Gohan was sitting at. So we can just assume that Gohan was well over his 200,000 power level. Now, after dealing with the rest of Frieza's forms, they take on his final form, which put him at 60 million, since he was only using half of his power. Gohan, Krillin, Piccolo, and Vegeta, after a Zenkai boost, couldn't touch Frieza whatsoever. This is definitely where we see Gohan stop growing until the next saga. So in the Namek saga, Gohan's potential unlocked and he essentially became as powerful as Vegeta was on Earth. And without knowing about the Zenkai boost, he became possibly one of the strongest characters due to the hidden anger he also had. Obviously his hidden anger wasn't enough for Frieza, but it did shock Frieza when he was able to keep up with him for a bit after he powered down, when Gohan was preparing to stay on Namek and fight for Goku's honor. Another fun fact too about Gohan's ascension is that Frieza's terror was the catalyst for him becoming a Super Saiyan 2 during the Cell saga. Now with that in mind, we head into the next saga, the Android saga. So from this point on, power levels cease to matter because everyone's strength becomes more immeasurable. So as the audience, we understand that the character gets stronger based on transformations and powering up visuals that Akira Toriyama gave us. So from this point on, if someone is stronger, it's because they are just in general stronger than the other character. Now, to be fair, the Android saga was more so focused on the developing character of Vegeta and the introduction of androids and future Trunks, so there wasn't much to go off of in regards to seeing how strong Gohan is. There is a training session between Goku, Piccolo, and Gohan in the mountains, and we can definitely see that Gohan is able to keep up with Goku at base level. That is enough for us to know that Gohan was significantly stronger now during the Android saga. Honestly, to be fair, nothing else really happens for Gohan during the Android saga. He kind of just sits back and plays support for the time being, especially since Goku was out of condition because of the heart virus. So during this, we can just say that Gohan was close to Goku's base power level. So we will skip ahead to the defining saga that cemented Gohan as a major fighter, and that's the Cell saga. And to help me with this, I recruited my buddy Lennester. So Len, let the folks know about Gohan during the Cell saga.
Cell Saga. This saga in itself is the biggest highlight of Gohan's career. Not only during this saga did Gohan train and achieve Super Saiyan, but we see him actually go above and beyond. The beginning of the Cell Saga sees the Saiyans, Vegeta and Trunks go into the hyperbolic time chamber for the first time, and then Goku and Gohan second. Vegeta and Trunks roughly did about 3 months of training, which was enough for Vegeta to go beyond and achieve Super Vegeta, while Trunks attained a more bulky, slower form of Ultra Super Saiyan. Goku and Gohan enter next, and Goku's main goal with Gohan was just to turn him into a Super Saiyan. That was it. Goku was able to do that, and both Goku and Gohan continued to train and sparring for the rest of the time in the hyperbolic time chamber, to master and hone their abilities to stay as Super Saiyans without losing power. During this time, Goku sees a moment in the hyperbolic time chamber where Gohan achieved a form that was beyond Super Saiyan, and was beyond what Goku had reached, which we all know just a glimpse of what Super Saiyan 2 was. 3 months in the hyperbolic time chamber pass, and Goku and Gohan leave the time chamber finally as full-powered Super Saiyans, able to attain their strength and power while in that form. Goku does make a sly remark and state that he is stronger than Vegeta, but never says anything about Gohan. That's because Gohan was the trump card. Another crazy thing about Gohan being the trump card is that he didn't remember hitting Super Saiyan 2 in the chamber. It was just an emotional rage state. Now, with the Cell game starting up, Goku starts up fighting Cell using everything he's got. Yes, Goku from the start was using his full power because Cell was a much stronger opponent. So why was he fighting Cell first? Because he wanted to have Gohan study Cell's movements and fighting techniques, essentially giving his son an advantage when he inevitably fights. Now that Goku finished his fight with Cell, he gives up. Everyone's scared and wondering what can they do. Then boom! Gohan steps up to the plate, and now that Gohan stepped up, the iconic battle begins. Until Gohan piques Cell's interest with a story about the hidden rage he had since he was a child. Taking that as a challenge, Cell unleashes his Cell's Juniors, which are equivalent in power to Cell that Gohan is fighting. Not able to handle seeing his friends get destroyed, he begins to beg and cry and tell Cell to stop, but he wants Gohan to unleash that anger so he can see that hidden strength. And then Android 16's head rolls towards Gohan and gives Gohan the iconic speech.
Gohan, let it go. It is not a sin to fight for the right cause. There are those who words alone will not reach. Cell is such a being. I know how you feel, Gohan. You are gentle. You do not like to hurt. I know because I too have learned these feelings. But it is because you cherish life that you must protect it. Please, drop your restraints. Protect the life I loved. You have the strength. My scanners sensed it. Just let it go.
After all this, Gohan unleashes everything into one transformation, into the level beyond Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2. Gohan at this point is now stronger than anyone during this time. It cannot be touched, even by a full-powered Cell. That's until Cell gets so butthurt that he's losing after taking a gut punch from Gohan, he decides to self-destruct. Oh, and Cell does kill Goku by doing this. And after doing said self-destruction, Cell comes back with a Zenkai boost that puts him on par to Gohan at Super Saiyan 2. Once he's back, Gohan takes a blast to his left arm after saving Vegeta from certain death, and ends in the beam clash with Cell. With only one arm, Gohan is at a severe disadvantage, but with the help of Vegeta and the encouragement of his father Goku, Gohan unleashes all his rage and strength into a Kamehameha so strong it obliterates his entire being, which finally ends the Cell saga completely. So to reconfirm, Gohan during the Android saga didn't power up much, but during the Cell saga he powered up very quickly through the usage of the hyperbolic time chamber, and all his emotion and anger came to a huge explosion of energy for him, which made him a Super Saiyan 2 and the strongest Z fighter. Now with that, this should have been the end of Dragon Ball Z. However, as we all know, it was so popular in Japan that Akira Toriyama kept the series going, and well, we don't keep Gohan as the strongest, for now. But with all that said, let me toss it back to Greedy. Take it away, bro.
Thanks, Lynn. Okay, we now head into the Buu Saga. The Buu saga is the last DBZ saga before we head into Super. Gohan during this time is now in high school and has been studying instead of training, so we can highlight that Gohan is significantly weaker now than he was back in the Cell saga. And it is also confirmed if any of the Saiyans don't train, there is a possibility that a form can be weaker than someone else's form. For example, in this saga, Goku has Super Saiyan 2 now, but since he's been training, his Super Saiyan 2 is stronger than Gohan's because of him not training. Same can go for Vegeta's regular Super Saiyan form and Gohan's. It's really sad for the audience because we see all this fast growth for such an amazing character, and boom, he's now back in that support role. Okay, I digress. We head into the start of the Buu saga at the World Tournament. Gohan is trained enough with his brother Goten to be able to get into the swing of things. His first fight at the World Tournament was with Kibito, who wanted to see the full extent of the Saiyan's power. Gohan does show him Super Saiyan, but with that cockiness he has, keep in mind, he asks, does he want him to take it to the next level? Kibito is surprised and Gohan shows him Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta does make the remark that Gohan is weaker now than he was back when he fought Cell. Now, at Super Saiyan 2, Gohan gets jumped and his energy absorbed by Babidi's henchmen, which after this sets the hands in motion for the revival of Majin Buu. So we move forward to when Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta all chase Babidi's henchmen to a ship where they duke it out with other henchmen that Babidi has under his control. Gohan, when it's his turn, fights the Demon King Dabura, and he fights him in his Super Saiyan 2 form. He is at a stalemate with Dabura during this fight, and even Vegeta gets annoyed watching Gohan struggle to keep up with an opponent that Vegeta deems is toying with him. The fight ends essentially in a draw, and honestly, Gohan really doesn't do anything else until Fat Buu arrives. So once Fat Buu emerges, Gohan does take the fight to him, but as the audience, we know Gohan is not doing anything to Buu, and just loses out. Now, it looks as if Gohan is dead, but Kibito finds him, heals him, and takes him to the Supreme Kai's world to heal, and finally do his last bit of training that will help him become stronger. Eventually, he breaks the Z-Sword, and the old Supreme Kai arises, informing him that he can unlock Gohan's true hidden potential, called his mystic powers. Gohan is able to go through with the training for his mystic powers. Now, a lot has happened while Gohan was in Supreme Kai's world. Goku became Super Saiyan 3, Goten and Trunks fused, Fat Buu became Super Buu. Currently at this time, Gotenks, which is Goten and Trunks fused, was the strongest character due to achieving also Super Saiyan 3. Yes, he was stronger than Goku at Super Saiyan 3, and that still wasn't enough to take on Super Buu. Gohan in the Supreme Kai world has just now finished his training for his mystic form, and is now Ultimate Gohan, who is still by the end of DBZ the strongest non-fused fighter amongst the Z fighters, which puts him back on top. Gohan goes to Earth and locates Super Buu and is informed of what he's done, but with all of his potential finally unlocked, does he have any anger or anything anymore? At this time, no. He truly is the strongest non-fused Z fighter. He's even stronger than Super Buu, which is why he was able to do this iconic walk in line when he first meets Super Buu.
So, Hotshot, you want to fight Majin Buu?
Fight you? No, I want to kill you.
Gohan utterly decimates Super Buu to the point he self-destructs because he can't win. And after Gohan saves everyone in the area and Buu regenerates, Buu challenges Goten and Trunks again as their fusion, not knowing his true plan is to absorb them. This is the second time Gohan's confidence overshadowed the main objective. The first being when he fought Cell as a Super Saiyan 2 and then immediately killed him. Super Buu absorbs both Gotenks and Piccolo, having strength and intelligence increased and becomes stronger than Ultimate Gohan. Gohan can't keep up, and neither can any other singular Z fighter on the planet. At this point, Gohan's battles and everything during the Buu saga stops here. He is at this point the strongest Z fighter at the end, and even though he isn't present for the final battles that happened afterwards, he is canonically confirmed to be the strongest non-fused Z fighter in Dragon Ball. That is until Dragon Ball Super. For this final part, we will cover all of the Dragon Ball Super sagas where Gohan is relevant, which is pretty easy to go through because Gohan's most relevant part was during the Universe Survival arc. And also, I would like to preface that Dragon Ball Super entirely does not care about power scale. With that in mind, let's go. Okay, during the God of Destruction arc, Gohan is support and he can still do his mystic form and go ultimate, but Beerus, the God of Destruction, legit just flicks Gohan away. Yeah, he literally can't do nothing. That's it. Besides helping Goku achieve Super Saiyan God, Gohan ain't do nothing. Moving to the Revival of Frieza arc, Gohan can't achieve Mystic even though he was when he charged Beerus back in the God of Destruction arc. And that's because Gohan focused more on studying than anything. Can he go Super Saiyan 2? Nope. He can go Super Saiyan only. And even then, it's a struggle for him during this arc. Frieza literally toys with him until he gets word that if he powers up, Goku can sense his power output and instant transmission to him. Yeah, Gohan again doesn't do nothing in this arc. He's just support and he doesn't have his ultimate form anymore. Moving to the Universe 6 saga, Gohan does get suggested for the team, but Goku says he is focused on studying and to leave him alone. We do see that Gohan does restart his training with Piccolo again because he wants to protect his family, kind of like a superhero of sorts. Yeah, moving forward, the Future Trunks saga happens and we see Gohan meeting Future Trunks. Even Future Trunks notices that Gohan is somewhat weaker, but unlike everyone else, he understands that Gohan is doing what he wanted to do all this time, which was be a scholar. By the end of that saga, we do see Gohan has changed a bit based on his looks and demeanor. Honestly, no point in talking about his little great Saiyaman adventures. Gohan does fight Goku for a bit at home in the fields because he is bored, and it seems Gohan's training is seeing some light, so that's good. Now, we get into the Universe Survival arc, where Gohan can truly shine. During the Zeno Expo, Goku, Gohan, and Buu show up to showcase how strong their universe possibly is. Goku and Buu respectively win their bouts, and Gohan's fight is won, but it's interesting. See, Gohan didn't win because of his strength. He was still relatively not at full power, but used his battle knowledge and ki control to keep up in the fight, because when he was fighting Lavender of Universe 9, he was blinded and couldn't see. So this fight isn't really a measure of power, but more so a measure of his skill as a fighter, and we can easily see that his skill increased immensely since training with Piccolo again. Gohan eventually does overpower Lavender and knocks him out with a full Nelson Slam, but then instantly goes unconscious. However, he has won his fight. This is the first fight he has won in a while. After the Zeno Expo, Universe 7 begins gathering their team. At one point, Gohan challenges Krillin to a spar to see where his power is at, and Krillin is able to outsmart and outplay Gohan in their sparring match, and get an easy ring out on Gohan after using his new technique, Solar Flare times 100. After Goku goes and searches for other members for the team while Gohan trains with Piccolo a little more. During their training, Piccolo remarks about Gohan's overconfidence and arrogance, and says he doesn't have a heart of a warrior. Gohan, realizing he can't be like this anymore, powers up beyond everything and returns to his most powerful form, his ultimate form, his mystic form. As they spar again, Piccolo informs Gohan to not get overconfident and to not be arrogant. He agrees and we finally have Gohan back at full power. So before continuing, just gotta state that Gohan was weak not only in his body but in his mind also. When realizing his faults as a fighter, he made sure to improve upon those faults and return to the state he was at by the end of Dragon Ball Z's Buu saga. Once Goku returns to Gohan and Piccolo, he challenges Gohan, who is now at full power in his mystic form. Gohan even states to Goku he's reaching now for a stronger, more powerful form that even Vegeta and Goku can't get to, but only he can. They start their sparring match, and off the bat, Goku is struggling a bit to keep up with Gohan at full power. Gohan notices that and even states that Goku needs to go full power himself. So he does, and goes Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10 on a full power Gohan, and they begin to clash once more. They do a final clash against each other, which shakes almost the entire West City and startles Vegeta even. The dust settles, and Gohan is unconscious after the clash. And both Gohan and Goku are satisfied. At this point now, Gohan's power is equivalent to a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10 Goku. He's not stronger, but he is equal to him, which is enough for the tournament. Now, the Tournament of Power has officially begun. And for the first 10 minutes, we really don't see what Gohan is up to. All we know is that him and Piccolo are having each other's back. Gohan during this tournament barely uses his full power so that he can be up to par by the end. Gohan and Piccolo encounter a sniper and his companion from Universe 2 who are fighting them unconventionally. Piccolo eventually figures out their strategy, and both him and Gohan and some of the others from Universe 7 put a stop to them and win. Not much of a power fight, but more so a battle of strategy. Then, after the midway point happens for the tournament, Gohan and Piccolo encounter Namekians from Universe 6 and begin a 2v2 in which they can most likely handle them one-on-one, but 2v2? It was a bit of a struggle. Piccolo realizes that the Namekians from Universe 6 assimilated all of their kind into them, which is why they are struggling against them. Gohan, also realizing that, transforms to his mystic form and holds nothing back at all. While Piccolo full charged a special beam cannon, Gohan takes on both Namekians and distracts them long enough for Piccolo to shoot his special beam cannon, weaken them, and for Gohan to knock them out of the ring, officially ending Universe 6 in the tournament. Gohan does fight 3 opponents from Universe 3 and holds his own very well. With ease, honestly, because he wanted Vegeta and Goku to rest up. However, Universe 3 initiates their plan and fuses into Agnilasa. Hopefully I said that correctly. Gohan, Frieza, Goku, Vegeta, and Android 17 all power up fully to push him out of the ring and end Universe 3. Gohan then begins fighting Top with 17, but realizes they have never fought or worked together before, so it was difficult to coordinate. So they attempt to knock Top out of the ring via Android 17 sacrificing himself, but Top was able to escape from them. Eventually, Gohan decides to break off from that fight and assist Frieza with his fight with Dispo. During this fight, Gohan realizes he is stronger than Dispo but is nowhere near his speed. So he and Frieza decide to trap him in a laser field, and Gohan fights him 1v1 in this field, where if Dispo even made one wrong move, he would be injured. Frieza can't keep it up though, and it dissipates, allowing Dispo to move once more, but Gohan catches Dispo and holds him until Frieza uses a beam to knock both of them out. Gohan is officially done in the Tournament of Power. At this point, Gohan is now a spectator, only till the end of Dragon Ball Super. And yes, I know I didn't mention stuff in the manga. I do know he fights Kefla and knocks her out, which cements the idea also that Gohan is stronger or equal to Ultra Instinct Goku. It's just that I have been only focusing on the anime parts that came out first. But besides that, Gohan has grown up, struggled, and persevered through large amounts of fights and encounters that has built him into a veteran fighter. With the new Dragon Ball Super superhero movie coming out, we will finally see what a powerful Gohan is like truly. I am with Akira Toriyama from looking at all of his feats and accomplishments and power-ups. Gohan is truly the strongest non-fused Z fighter in Dragon Ball. And if you're still asking why, then I say go see Dragon Ball Super superhero when it drops in theater. And that movie will show us why Toriyama said Gohan is the strongest Z fighter. Thank you guys for watching and listening to this video. If you could, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Again, thank you guys so much. I love y'all, Take care and enjoy y'all's day. Ciao.